Great day, everyone. My name is Tanisha Sam, and I am going to be talking about and elaborating a little bit on divorce, remarriage, as well as step families. I'm a tad bit hoarse, but it's due to the weather. However, I do have experience with all three. I wanted to talk about this subject because of the experience I went through while dealing with all three of the situations involved. I was married for 15 years. The marriage was rough. It was a rocky road experience. Being young and, you know, realizing that that's what I wanted to do, I jumped the broom a little sooner than I would have expected, like 22. I had my daughters during my course of this 15-year marriage, which turned from a fairy tale experience into that of a domestic abusive mentally. Not all domestic violence comes from punches and, fighting and bodily abuse. It also comes from mental abuse, which I endured at the hands of my ex husband. This was definitely a learning experience for me. Um, I went through the divorce process, which took approximately 5 years due to the fact that he didn't want to divorce me. He made it very hard. It was a struggle, but eventually I had to go upon myself and take it upon myself to divorce him. I had to pay out of pocket, get a lawyer, which they drew up the paperwork and they made him sign the papers. That's how sometimes it works with couples who eventually are at a stage where the one party wants to divorce and the other party does not want to. So that is also a common interest that most people go through. And that is also something that I would like to elaborate on as well. When you are going through a divorce, it is wise to go through counseling due to the fact that it can be a mental hardship, depression is involved. Children are definitely sometimes involved as well, and putting them through that traumatic experience can have a hardship on their little young lives if they are like under the age of 13, but still teenagers go through it as well. So that is my personal interest that I have in that particular subject. Remarriage, I am currently remarried. Um, we met 7 years after the divorce. It was a learning experience because I knew I didn't want to get married again. We courted each other, and court is an old word for seeing each other, dating one another, learning more about each other, if that's the step that we wanted to take. And it was the step that we came to the conclusion that we loved each other, eventually wanted to be together. So we did end up getting married. And I have to say that I'm very happy. We've been married for, I want to say, 8 years now, and I couldn't be more happier. That was a turning point in my life that I really am blessed that God has brought us together because the first marriage was a learning experience. My daughters were conceived and born through that marriage. They had to be here. That is another thing. I don't regret it because of my children that I'm blessed to have. But as far as the relationship goes, that was hard. But I'm blessed to be here and not have to have endured so much trauma that I endured through that relationship. Step families. I have to say that, mine is wonderful. I enjoy my sister-in-laws. I enjoy his children. They adore me. My children, it was a little hard to get them to warm up to my current husband, but they have and they adore him. They do not call him daddy because they already have a father that they know of, which is great. So we do have joint custody. That's another thing that is involved in divorce. Sometimes you do have the point where you have joint custody of the kids. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that. Lots of couples go through that point in the relationship where they have full custody and don't want the other one to be involved, which I don't see as correct or the right stage of things because they are part of both of you. So why are you sectioning off the other party from seeing that part of themselves? I believe it should be an equal balance between both. That is something that I would like to study in my profession down the road. I would love to get into family psychiatry because from my experience, that is something I would go into to give advice to help walk through these stages of the relationship, especially when there's children involved. I would love to see if I can balance out and give great advice, see if we can work through things with that needed support from me. So I am Tanisha Sam, and I am signing off on this area of study. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.